Hello everyone, my name is Chiedoze. In today's video, I'll be going through the whole process of how to submit your petition online. In this video, I'll be showing you the process step by step on how to upload your petition and get your response in 24 hours. But if you've been the other type of people who consider themselves old school, I want to give you reasons why you should follow the online submission method, which I think is quicker, faster, and easier to do and saves time instead of printing the whole petition, walking up to USPS or UPS or FedEx to ship the petition. Stay with me to the end of this video as I'll dive in. And I think the first thing you need to do is to go to uscis.gov and go to uscis.gov, create an account if you've not created an account before. And after creating an account, you will use your username and password to log in to the uscis.gov website. And when you do that, it will lead you to my USCIS landing page where you'll be able to start uploading your documents. I'm assuming that you've created your account. I want you to go ahead, log in with your username and password so that we could move ahead. As you could see on my screen, you have the username, which is your email address, which is preferable according to USCIS, and you have a section where they want you to put in the password. I want you to go ahead now, put in your email address, put in your password, and when you do that, it will send you a notification for a two-factor authentication where they want you to receive a passcode to your email address, and you will submit the passcode so that it will enable you to log in completely to the USCIS website. And USCIS does this to ensure that the person logging into the account is the actual owner of the account, and they are verifying the account by using the text message function. This ensures that your account is safe, no one is hacking into your account, and no one is playing with your account unauthorized, right? Let's move on. This page that you're seeing, you will notice that I have on it when I go to my account, like I'm showing you here on the screen, it brings up so many functions. You see home, settings, and the rest. What you want to do is to file a form online. File a form online. When you click it, it will take you to the next page. Now that we have clicked file a form online, you will see that it brings out so many things you can fill online. You could also file a biographic information, application to replace permanent resident card, application for non-immigrant worker. But what you want to choose is to choose I-140, which is what you are actually doing, either the EB2 NIW or the EB1A. Choose I-140, Immigrant Petition for Alien Workers. Now that we have chosen I-140, it's going to prompt you to decide which of the I-140 you want to do. And it's going to ask you whether you want to do the EB2 NIW or the EB1A. I would, at this point, let you to choose the category that affects you. If you're filing the EB1A, click the EB1A option. If you're filing the EB2 NIW, click the NIW option. So the first page that you are going to see after clicking the option you want to choose, you will see a page, the landing page, as you can see here on my screen, where you say the form I-140 upload. And you will see here, as you can see, choose or drop a file to upload. It wants you to upload your form I-140. And when you upload your form I-140, the system automatically checks it to see if there is any issue with the form at all before you proceed. And if there are no issues with the form, you can now proceed to uploading the evidence, the petition itself, the ETA's Appendix A, and the final determination document so that you could submit your petition successfully. So as we are moving on, you will see that I have uploaded my form I-140, and you could see the function is showing that the system is checking it to see that the form is accurate, correctly filled, and is ready for USCIS to receive it. Now, this is going to take anywhere from 15 seconds to 1 minute. And when USCIS online system automatically checks through the document. It's going to tell you everything is good. You can now proceed to the next section of the upload. As you could see here, my upload is complete because it tells me here, you could see the file name, you could see the document and the status of the form that I've uploaded. And according to the generated system, it tells me that the upload is complete, meaning that the system checked the document, the form I-140, and they agree with me that I filled the form correctly. Now, since they have agreed with me, I can now proceed to uploading my evidence and the remaining documents. Now, as you can see on my left hand side of the panel, you will see that they have so many documents and um, so many upload panel that they want you to do, like a bucket that they want you to fill in. Now, keep in mind that they don't know what you are thinking, but they have a master plan on how they think that they want you to upload this thing, because they could see, as you could see on my screen, it said evidence supporting national interest waiver. You will see an official academic record, proof of exceptional abilities, from ETA 1989, from ETA Appendix A, ETA 750B, and additional evidence. Now, the idea is that you want to submit the petition itself. Some people will call it the cover letter. You want to submit the cover letter and a table of contents, as the case might be, under evidence supporting national interest waiver. Now, I would argue that there is no hard or fast rule how to submit these documents, how to upload this document to USCIS, because you could submit the petition itself or the cover letter under evidence supporting national interest waiver or under additional evidence. It depends on you, or under proof of exceptional abilities. But I would not do that there, because I would want to submit proof of exceptional abilities. I would want to submit the exhibit there. That means the evidence supporting national importance, substantial merit, and evidence to show that you're well positioned to advance your proposed endeavor, and the evidence for the labor certification waiver. I will want to submit everything on that place. As you can see on my screen, that I am uploading the ETA 1989, and what happens that each time I upload this document, USCIS take some time to accept the document. It goes through a cycle. They check it. I'm not sure if they are checking for errors at this point, but they just want to receive the document, and this is how it happens on their system. Once everything, the upload is confirmed, you can now move to the next section. Now, keep in mind that you can go back if at all you notice that something is wrong somewhere. You can go between any of the subsection that you see here. There is no hard or fast rule which one you want to upload first and which one you want to upload last. Now that I've finished uploading all my documents, I want to mention something now. Now, there is no hard or fast rule on how you want to upload each of the documents. If you want to submit each of the documents in terms of just uploading them one by one, which I think might be tedious, it depends on you. But what I would do is to create a cover letter for each of the documents and upload everything as one single document. For example, now if you have the prong one, which is the evidence of national importance and substantial merit, I will combine every document into one and upload it as one single document, so that when USCIS downloads the document, they are downloading one document that has maybe exhibit 1.1 to exhibit 1.20, and each of them is separated by a cover letter that tells them which one they are actually dealing with. Now, keep in mind that I mentioned that you should create a table of contents. The table of contents will help USCIS determine what exactly you are showing them and what exactly they are looking for when they pick each of these documents that they download from their end of the upload website. Now, as you can see on my screen, I have finished uploading all the documents, and USCIS is alerting me that they found no alert or warning on the petition, that I can go on to pay the fees. And what I will do, I will click next to the next session so that I will pay the fees. Now, in this panel of the website, you will see that USCIS wants me to certify that every document that I provided, that I understand the information that is contained in, and there is nothing that is, everything was completed, and things like that. It's just like a certification that they want me to agree and read as a declaration and certification. Now, what I just need to do is to click that I have read this part of the upload section, and I also agree that everything that I'm submitted is true, bearing the records, that I'm not lying on that records, things like that, because USCIS is going to be mad at you when they find out that you are lying on record. It is a punishable offense, and you don't want to do that. Ensure that every document you're giving to USCIS is accurate to to is accurate to the fault, that this is accurate to the best of your knowledge, and you're not lying on record. Now, let's move on to the next part of this upload. Now, in the next section, that USCIS is going to confirm that once I click that I've read and certified everything, it automatically generates an auto signature saying that I electronically sign that everything here is detected as a true document that I upload. Now we'll go to the next section. Now, in this section, you will see that USCIS is wanting me to understand that there is no refund for this filing fee, and I also agree that I'm going to pay, and the payment is going to redirect me to another screen where I can be able to track the status of my application after I have finished making the payment. Now, what at this point it wants me to understand is that I'm going to provide billing address, credit card, numbers for me to be able to make the payment online. Without it, USCIS will not be able to process my payment. Now, follow me as I go, show you the steps of how to make the payment and things like that. Now, the next step is that USCIS is the from I-140 upload, and it redirected me to another website, pay.gov. And on this pay.gov, you will see here that there is an agency tracking number. There is the payment amount, which is $965. Now, you will notice that when you submit your form online, when you submit a hard copy form, that you end up paying $1,015 or $1,020. But if you're submitting online, there is a reduced fee, which is $965. Now, let's do the math here, that when you're submitting a hard copy, you are going to pay either USPS or UPS or FedEx. They will charge their fee. You will pay $1,015. That is $715 and $300 asylum fee. But here, you are just making one single payment. Also, keep in mind that when you are submitting your petition online, there is no issue of whether your credit card is going to fail as to when you are shipping the whole document to them. Because when you ship document to them, USCIS may run your credit card, and you'll not be there to, tell your bank that, oh, I authorize this payment. And USCIS will reject the payment and ship your entire document to you. But with the online process, you submit your petition, let's say on a Monday. On Tuesday, USCIS wakes up, checks everything, and they agree that everything was completed, and they send you a receipt number automatically on the portal, and in some days' time, you get a hard copy letter saying that they have received your payment. But let us come back to this payment section. You will see that they want to see cardholder's name, billing address, city, country, state or province, the zip code, and card number of the person who owns this card for you to make the payment. And that is just an easy way to upload your document and pay for your I-140 petition online. Now, after you have done that, USCIS will give you a page where you could authorize, where you could sign that you authorize them to charge your card for the above amount in accordance to the card issuer agreement. Now, with that, USCIS charges your account, and you are good to go. And that is it. And you will see at this page that USCIS is telling me that they have accepted the PDF of my Form I-140. And that way, I'll be waiting for USCIS on the other end of the website to download the document, verify that everything is okay, and give me a confirmation um, email or something. And with that, I will get a receipt number, which usually starts with IOE. I believe this video helps you in knowing how to submit your petition online. But if you are still that type of person that believes that you want to submit old school hard printed copy, I will link in this video my video on how to arrange your petition and ship to USCIS. I hope this helps you, and I will see you in my next video. If you know anyone that this video will be helpful, I want to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and family, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.